You know, if I would have remembered to click on the microphone, y'all would be able to hear me. Let me start again. Oh my God, I'm sitting here talking to y'all and y'all can't hear me. Welcome to Graphics Card Nightmares. It's your boy JJ right here once again. I was explaining to y'all before before I forgot to turn the microphone on, that if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. That way you can get in on the chats. It costs absolutely nothing for you to subscribe, and it would help the channel. So make sure you get in there and subscribe. And before we get started, once again, we're going to let a couple people jump in. If not, then we're just going to go ahead and get right to it. And we're going to get everything, going just the way it's supposed to be going. I don't think y'all want to see that. Alright. Sorry about that, everybody. I'm getting like clicky happy. There we go. We fixed it. Sorry about that. I was getting a little clicky happy. So as long as y'all can hear me, let me know. If you can't hear me, then we'll try to get it fixed. So, now that I did the 2 minutes of embarrassing myself, let's go ahead and just dive right into it like I always do, so y'all can see what's going on, and we're going to bring it down to you. We're going to go ahead and switch over to the action screen like we always do. Let's switch to action screen. Alright, we're going to be going through Amazon and looking for the good cards and the nightmare cards. So now y'all can get in on the chat. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do subscribe, because we're going to be going through Amazon, Newegg, eBay, and even Micro Center. So make sure y'all get in on that. Alright. So, MSI 4070 Ti, $879. But that's the 12 gigabyte version. Okay, now understand this. And this is a big controversy that's going on right now. Is that the amount of VRAM that you got with your graphics cards. Okay, it's all depending on the games now. Now they're making it a big deal to where, that if you're running 16 gigabytes of VRAM, that you're going to be in good standing with all the recent amount of games, because they're using up a lot of RAM. Okay, now I'm gonna try to break this down and make this point clear. The amount of VRAM it matters how much VRAM you have on your graphics card, but there's a but to this. Now the thing is this: if you got your RAM for your PC, if you put in 32 gigs of RAM in your PC and you don't have enough RAM on your video card, then you could probably share it. I've done this before. I've shared a bit of the memory and dedicated it to the graphics card and broke it away from the system itself. Okay, there is a way to, if I can remember right, there is a way to dedicate a piece of the memory to the graphics card from your PC if you don't have enough juice from your graphics card. But that's dedicated. Okay, that's dedicated graphics card. Now, if you're doing an integrated graphics card, like an iGPU, and you get like the 5600G or the 5700G, then you can get 32 gigs of RAM, and guess what? You could dedicate 8 gigs of that 32 gigs to the integrated graphics. You can separate it off, dedicate it, and boom, you're done. You know, I mean, even if you got 64 gigs, you can. That's only if you're running integrated graphics. You can do something like that. Running discrete graphics card, you could probably do it too. I just can't remember the functioning of how it was done. It was we used to do it back then when we had the 1 gigabyte graphics cards, right? And we used to be able to dedicate a portion of your physical RAM from your computer to the discrete graphics card. Let's say you got a 1 gig graphics card, then you can dedicate like 4 gigs of RAM from your computer to that card, as a little fallback kind of thing. So all depends on what kind of system you set up, but you can do something like that. But from what I'm seeing is everybody's talking about the 4070 Ti being a joke and the 4080 being a joke. And they say the best one to buy would be the 4090 right off the bat. Because you don't get the 4090 is the RTX 4090 is not a cut down card. It's a full card. It's their flagship. So, with that card, you probably got better success. But also, too, don't forget about AMD as well. AMD's flagship's kind of on the different side. But, it depends on what you want to do. I mean, they got the RX 580 for $122. As you can see from last week to this week and see the prices going on, the prices haven't changed on the 580. I mean, not even $1 has changed. Not even $1. $1. Not even $1 has changed. The 3060 12 gigabytes, I mean, for $379, I don't think so. I mean, now they're trying to take the 3060 and compare it to the 4070 Ti. And try to tell you, well, you get the same comparisons with the two. Okay, well, the thing is this. And I want you all to understand this. When you buy, this is just if you're buying a graphics card for the first time, to know what you're getting into before you get into it, know what kind of card you want to buy before you buy it. That's the whole purpose of this. And if you've already got a graphics card and it runs great, better than what you see here today, then stick with what you have. Graphics cards prices are not getting any cheaper. They're getting more expensive. They're throwing more stuff into it to make you pay for more for the stuff you don't use. Okay, there's some stuff on these graphics cards I don't use. I don't use ray tracing. I don't use DLSS 3. I don't use none of that. I don't even have, well, this is AMD. I don't even have the AMD software, the Adrenalin software in here. I got the drivers of the AMD Adrenalin, but I don't have their software in here now because I found out it's best to run it just with the drivers only. And this way you don't get into the headache of putting a program in that's going to bog your system down and cause it to crash. Or, have some major problems down the road. I don't need all that extra special features on my computer. If it can game on the raw side, it can game. If it can't, it can't. Okay? It's either it does or it doesn't. Okay? That's what I'm trying to make y'all understand. Just because it makes the picture look crisper and cleaner doesn't mean nothing. Just because it gives you a little bit more FPS doesn't mean nothing. Okay? Now all these little added features, okay, doesn't give you what you get from the baseline. Okay, this is just a band-aid to the baseline. And I've tried to tell everybody this for the longest time, friends of mine and stuff like this. When you buy a graphics card, you can see the difference of running baseline compared to running all that extra stuff you don't need. Like the analyzing, you don't need that because that removes FPS. Okay, now the way I got my system set, it's set for full bore FPS. That means it goes to the maximum of this processor for FPS for the display. So I don't have to deal with any programs, any lighting controls, or anything else. I've cut all that out of this system. I've cut everything out. It's running baseline, and that's the way it's running. It's just the baseline. I run OBS, YouTube Live. I don't see if I need anything else but that. So, yeah, it's kind of different when you're recording because it's not the same as if you're recording on a discrete graphics card. Recording this way kind of puts a little bit of hell on your processor. But if your processor is good enough, it will handle it. Okay. Mine's been handling this way for over 6 months. And it's the Ryzen 5 5600G. And, that's the reason why I haven't went to a discrete graphics card yet. I did one time. I was not impressed. Especially with it being 64-bit. And, the way this is running full bore. The way I have it, as it is. It's running full bore. I mean, at 2300 megahertz for the GPU, and it's running 1600 megahertz for the memory. Can't beat it. And it can use all the way up all my RAM if it wants to, or it can use a little bit. It's set on automatic. I don't have to mess with it. I just leave it and let it go. And I just play the games, and if I can't play the games, then I don't worry about it. So, it is what it is. But anyway, getting back to the thing, I mean, you can see these are ridiculous prices. I mean, this is price gouging. I mean, $464 for, a 3060 8 gigabyte? Hell, you best run back over here. Go back up the scale and get us right here. Get the 12 gigabyte for $379. It's cheaper here than it is down here. I mean, come on, man. Oh, because it says TI. Okay, it says 8 gigabyte. Well, that's not going to mean nothing, when these games start improving themselves. I mean, right here you can see the price difference. 12 gigabytes, 8 gigabytes. You got your limiters on and stuff like that. I mean, look at it, 3070. You pay 8 gigabytes, you're paying $559. Why would you pay $559 for a card that's only came down $40? Does that make sense? No, it don't make sense. You know, I mean, $196 for a card that's out of date and it's 2 gigabytes. Look at this. $200 because it's got 4 outputs, monitor outputs, 4 of them. And it only does DirectX 11 and OpenGL. I mean, come on, give me a break. That's ridiculous. You know, I mean, $99 for 580. I mean, yeah, it's getting cheaper. I mean, but it doesn't mean too much. They got a 2 gigabyte for $49.99, $50. You're best to go here for $40 more and get an 8 gigabyte for $100. I mean, that's common sense. A 3090, $1,500, almost $1,500. Who in the right mind's going to pay $1,500? Who in the right mind's going to pay $1,500 for a graphics card? Oh, because it's renewed. It's got the 24 gigabyte GDR6X. Okay, the 3090. So now they're going to charge you all $1,500 to get this card when, you know, the 4090, it looks like it's trying to trim the same characteristics as the 4090. It's not happening. I mean, 6400. I mean, why would you do a 64-bit card for $139? AMD, you know, wake up, man. Wake up. I mean, $259 for a 550 4 gigabyte. Wake up. You can get an 8 gigabyte for cheaper that's GDR6. 6500 XT, 164. I have a review on that. You know, if y'all want to go look at that. I tried it. It sucked. So I'm just going to give you my honest opinion, and I'm not going to cut any corners about it. It sucked. And this right here, I mean, really? They have the 8 gigabyte version would be better than the 4 gigabyte version. Come on, y'all, wake up. Look at this. 4080, 384 bit. Look at this. $200. Well, a lot more. I mean, it's just ridiculous in the prices. I mean, look at this. 1630, $164. I mean, I know the consumer doesn't have a deep wallet, okay? And I understand. And I'm showing the consumers what prices are today. This is real life prices today. This isn't yesterday's prices. This is today's prices. Just like I said on my videos, right then and there, when I made the Graphics Card Nightmare video, it's that day prices. So you can go back to my other videos and see the prices on these same items. And that will give you the true pricing. And you can determine on your own what you think about going that route. So, you know, I mean, nobody's buying a 710 anymore. 1650, you're lucky to get anybody to buy a 1650 anymore. 1630, who is going to buy it? It's only 4 gigabytes when the newest games are asking for 16 gigs. You know, I mean, 3080 Ti, 12 gigabytes. I mean, are you really going to be paying that? No, not really. Because, you know what, you're thinking about your pocket. I mean, you know, you're thinking about your pocket. And I don't blame you, because I'd be thinking about my pocket too. I mean, if I got to pay for a 3080 Ti $1,149, I might as well go get the 4070 Ti for the same frickin' price. That makes sense? Yeah, I'm not desperate for a graphics card right now. If I want a bench test and everything else, a graphics card, then, you know, I have other sources to do that. But until I decide I want to buy a discrete graphics card, I'm going to wait it out a little bit, because something tells me that the best thing I should do is wait it out. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, is wait it out. And what I recommend to y'all, and this is my recommendation, I'm not recommending any graphics card right now, because from what I see, and I'm going to go to the next page here, I really don't see something that's going to really, sink your teeth into. I really don't. Because going through Amazon's prices, as y'all can see, that I'm going through today's prices right now, and from the kind of games you all would love to play and everything else, I mean, I can't sink my teeth into none of these cards. I mean, I really can't. Even though that they might go extinct, which will never happen, as long as you got eBay. These cards will never go extinct. Okay, not like everybody's sitting there chatting to you, on different videos and telling you, oh, these cards are going to go extinct. You got to get them right now, this and that. No, you don't. They're not going to go extinct, because there's always going to be somebody wanting to sell one. So, no matter which way you cut the apple's still going to have a quarter down there somewhere along the line, and you're still going to be able to get the card. Even if you got to get the card used and then send it to somebody to refresh it, refresh all the chips and stuff, for a decent price, you're still getting a good deal. As long as you can get the card below MSRP, you're getting a good deal. I mean, there's technicians out there on YouTube that are doing this day in and day out that would love your business. And you know what I say? If you get a used card off of eBay and you don't trust it or anything else, send it to one of those technicians. Have them go through it, see what it's all about, see if it's going to be a long-term card for you. And guess what? Boom, have them refresh it. Guess what? You got a brand new card. I mean, refreshed doesn't hurt anything. And this is what some of these companies are doing, but these tech YouTubers that are rebuilding these cards are doing it for a cheaper price than, these manufacturers are doing it for. So that's something you need to think about too. So that's one way, and that's how you can cut the middleman off of the apple, is to just go right from the buyer to the seller, go right to the technician yourself, and and just cut the middleman out altogether. That's if you want a no case warranty. But I'm sure these technicians, when they build something, it's going to last you for a couple years. So you're going to have a graphics card that lasts you 2, 3, 4 years. I mean, if they say, okay, well, we're going to charge you $120 to take and refresh and upgrade the card, and you pay $150 for the card, and the card's worth $700, then guess what? You got a deal. The money that you put into that card is going to make that card that much better. So understand that too. Not unless you get a card that's totally damaged and the GPU is totally damaged, then, that's a different story. Because I don't want to steer anybody in that direction that's going to have to go through that headache of getting the whole card, everything on the whole card replaced, including the GPU die itself. I mean, I haven't really seen any prices with any cards that's of any worth that's over $200. Now, if I see one that's over $200, that's of use. And get this, read my lips, as of usage, that's worth something. Okay? I will tell you all. So we just went through Amazon looking at some of their prices. Now let's move over to Newegg and see what Newegg has to offer here. Let's see. 7900 XTX 1049, and it's only $49 above MSRP. Not too bad. But when it comes to content creating, 7900 XTX is not the card for content creating. It's way too slow. So that's what I heard from friends. They've tried it. They say it's way too slow for content creating. Gaming wise, be a little different story. But you can't use that card for both. Okay? And that's the bad part about it. If AMD come out with the new card that you can do both on, that gives you the same or greater performance, then their card would be worth something. But until then, their card's not really worth anything because of I'm not bashing AMD. I'm bashing the card. Is because my integrated graphics runs better than their discrete graphics cards with all them bugs and headaches and everything else. I'm going to tell you, I get better performance off of my integrated graphics than I would their discrete graphics card any day. And I know you all probably tried it one time or another, tried the processor and said, well, this is too slow for the kind of gaming I was doing. Well, the thing is this, the kind of gaming you're doing, okay, the kind of gaming you're doing is what matters for you the most. Okay, now the kind of gaming that I do is different from the kind of gaming you do. So when you build your system, build it to the system you want it to be for what you're going to be using it for. It goes by user usage. Okay, if you're using it for, let's say, creator work, then build it for creator work. If you're building it for creator work and gaming, build it for both. If you're building it just for gaming only, then build it for gaming only. Or specific games that you need a specific hard processor and you need a specific dedicated graphics card. Okay? Build it to your usage. But do remember to always overbuild just a bit. Always overperform it and overbuild it. The reason for that is if you decide to jump it up to the next level, at least you're one step ahead to get it to the next level. Okay? Now, if you buy it just directly for your today's usage, never look at it today's usage. Always look at it at the next level or greater. Mine's designed to go to the next two levels. In the 5000 series, Zen 3. Well, actually, no. It can actually go up 7 or 8 levels in Zen 3. Okay. Now, for Zen 4, no. DDR5, no. This is DDR4 based only. Okay, I'm not gonna sit there and preach too much on DDR5 until I get there, and when I get there, then I'll start working on the DDR5 series. But until then, I'm on the DDR4 series, and I still got things I got to get accomplished with you all right here on YouTube. And that's the builds that I have on paper that I'm doing soon as I get the parts to finish up so I can put it all together live here on YouTube for y'all, just to say. So moving on through Newegg. Moving on through Newegg. 3060, 12 gigabyte, $369. It seems like Amazon and Newegg are sharing the same prices on some things. Not all things, but some things they do share the same pricing with. You got to be really watch about that. I mean, they got the MSI RTX 4070 Ti for $879. That's a little bit better of a deal than Amazon. $879 is a better deal. Just to let you know that. It's not a bad deal. $1,709, that's not a bad deal because it's only $1,600 to the MSRP. It's $100 higher. It still's got a value to it. It's still got some worthiness to it. So you might have a deal there. You know, $518 for a 3060 Ti 8 gigabytes? Nah, that's way too high. 2060 Super. This is PCI Express 3.0 version for $279. No, no, that should be below at least $175 in my opinion. So 1660 Super, they shouldn't be over $50. You know, if they really wanted to sell out on all the lower cards, they would drop the price all the way down. They would drop it down to cost, and this is business sense. You drop it to cost, and then, you know, you make your money back off the cost. But they're trying to make their money off of the cost and labor. That's ridiculous. I mean, at cost, if you're putting your labor in with the cost, then, you know, you would still have a lower cost on these cards than you do now. But it seems that, you know, you jack up the cards up too high, nobody's going to buy them. Some people will, but most people won't. They'll just ignore it. And that's what's happening now. That's the reason why not too many people are watching videos on, you know, with graphics cards and stuff like that. Not too many. I'm not saying all. I'm saying not too many. They're all snub-nosing their way away from looking at these graphics cards and everything else, is because they just don't want to deal with it no more. It's too much of a headache, and I do agree with them. But I am going to be bringing today's prices every week, so you all can see the difference from the last graphics card nightmares to this one, and see where the nightmare lies in between. If the prices change, if it fluctuates up or down, you can actually make a whole freaking forecast on GPUs through all my videos, because I go in detail with the pricing of each, you know, every graphics card that pops up. If you see, you know, your graphics card pop up and you see lower prices, then you can say, well, hey, you know, I've seen between all your videos on this certain graphics card, and guess what? This is the timeline of how the prices are fluctuating up and down, but you don't see it drop further down than going up. You see it more going up than it does dropping down. So basically, you know, they're taking a low-end card and try to charge high-end prices for it, which I think is bullshit. And yes, I did say bullshit. So if they're going to strike me just for saying bull and shit, then, you know, and so be it. But, y'all can see the prices. I'm putting them out here to you. I mean, I still can't see paying this high of price. I mean, think about the consumer when they're shopping, and this is what they look at. And this is the reason why they just scroll right over it, because they don't see any value to the numbers that you got here in these cards. They do not see the value. I mean, look at this. 15% off with the promo code. $66.50 for $284 with the $20 rebate. And that says after. So you only get a $20 drop after the rebate. And that means you got to buy the card to get the card back to you so you can take the little paper and send in for the rebate, and you got to pay for the stamp and everything else just to get a $20 rebate. I mean, really? You got to pay $20 extra, or you got to pay $2 extra to get a stamp just to get a $20 rebate back, which now will be $17, $16, because guess what? You had to spend the money in postage, and go figure that one out. So, yeah, it's $16 is $16, but, I really can't see them charging this high a price. I mean, I just think myself it's kind of ridiculous that, they try to tell everybody, oh, the prices are coming down, the prices are coming down. Well, hell, Batman, where's the prices coming down? You scream, you scream and holler and tell everybody the prices are coming down. I don't frickin' see it. I don't see how you can tell everybody the prices are coming down when I see the prices going up. I mean, I'm not going to bash a reviewer or anything, but I'm going to say, reviewers, look at your pros and cons. Don't tell the public that the prices are coming down when the prices are going up. The prices are going up on all cards. If they're not going to get it from the 40 series, guess what? They're going to get it from the 30 series. They're going to jack up the price on the 30 series just so that way they can make up the price on the 40 series. Okay? Now, and if they're not making, they jack up the price on the 40 series and they're not making enough, it goes back and forth, back and forth. It's like with the scalpers. Okay? In order for scalpers to make any money, they turn around, they jack up the price of the video cards. And guess what? That's because the manufacturers run the cards at a low price, and the scalpers buy them up, and and then they turn around, go to eBay, and they sell them for almost triple the price. So manufacturers get mad, and they turn around and say, okay, well, if the scalpers are selling this card for $3,000, we're now going to sell it for $3,500. And now the scalpers are mad because, the manufacturers are doing this. So the scalpers lower their price a couple $100, so this way they can turn around and make a buck off of the video cards that the manufacturers put out there. And now the manufacturers get mad because the scalpers lower their prices, so the manufacturers lower their prices because the scalpers lower their prices. Now the manufacturer starts to lose money for the simple fact they had to lower their prices because the scalpers lowered theirs. But if the scalpers keep their prices high, then the manufacturers turn into scalpers. And that's the way I see it. The manufacturers, AIB partners, everybody, they turn into scalpers. And so they scalp you hardcore on, guess what? On your GPUs. Now look at the B650 motherboard. I know this is going off from the graphics cards, but look what they did for the B650 motherboards. They turn around, they cut half the crap out of them, almost all the crap out of them, and say, here you go. Guess what? This is what you're buying. This is all I'm going to give you. Nothing else. You know. Why they got them high-end graphics cards over on the top that got everything going on, but guess what? They charge 4 times what they're worth. And, you know, it's nothing but a shell game between manufacturers and the AIB partners and the scalpers. So if one is slacking on one place, then they're going to make it up in another place. Or if they're not making enough in the one place, then they're going to make it up in another place. They're not losing money, people. They are not losing money whatsoever. And if that's your thought, that they're losing money, they're not losing a dime. I hate to tell you that. They're not losing a damn dime. Because they play their cards so carefully, it might show on their numbers that they're losing, you know, product share. But they're not losing market share. That's the thing. They're not losing product share. They're losing market share. Product share they still have, because if they have the product in stock, then they still have a good chance to sell that product. So as long as they keep it in stock, they have what they call a stockpile. And as long as they got that stockpile, they got, what do you call it? They have monetary value. I don't know if that, you know, if y'all understand about that. But what happens is if graphics card manufacturers sit on a warehouse full of graphics cards, let's say they sit on 1 million graphics cards, they still have market share because they still have enough in stock to satisfy the market. So as long as they got enough to satisfy the market, then they have their market share. But once they start selling out on those cards, then they start losing market share because they have no more stock, no more inventory. So, you know, they have to spend more money to get more inventory. Then they start losing market share. So if they don't have to spend any money to make money, that's what they're going to do. And that's basically what they're doing here and now. They turn around, they tell everybody, oh, well, there's a recession in graphics cards because we don't have enough processors, we don't have enough chips to make video cards and stuff like that, so I'll be patient and blah, blah, blah. Okay, y'all got to see past the lie. That's the thing. You got to see past the lie. Okay? It's all but a big lie. Okay? They never, ever, ever, I mean, ever lost anything on manufacturing. You think they're in business to lose money, then, you know, you got something mistaken. You mistaken something. They're not in business to lose money. They're in business to make money. And they got all those people that are sitting in those offices to make sure they're not losing money. If they're losing money, then that's user error. That's done by somebody in their company that made an error of judgment. But those big wig, you know, owners of them companies, they're not in it to make. They're not in it to lose money. They're in it to make money. So don't think these graphic card manufacturers are losing money. They're not. They still have their stockpile, and they still have room to ship out the stock. As long as they don't put the card that they're trying to sell at end of life, that means it's still going to get drivers updates and this and that. And that's going to continue on for months to years to come. So, only time you got to worry about a graphics card is when you cannot download any updates for that graphics card. That's when you got to worry about that graphics card. Then it's time to change the graphics card to a different graphics card. So, when you have no more updates for your hardware, that's the time you need to change your hardware. I mean, as long as I'm getting updates for my hardware, then I don't see the need of changing my hardware, to go to the next best thing. Because the next best thing is not going to help me play the next best game, because the next best game could be playing on the same hardware I'm using now. So, it's kind of, a push kind of shove kind of thing. I mean, people are using 1660s. You can get them cheaper than this. I mean, way cheaper. I mean, a 3060 Ti, you can get it cheaper than that. You just got to look. So, your 588 gigabytes, to me, I don't think those cards are really worth the time, because of the fact that it doesn't have the new DirectX 12. I don't think it really is worth the time for the kind of gaming that's going on. So, I really don't. The 580, just because it's got a 256 bit bus, GDR5 doesn't give that card any special advantages to the GDR6. So, you really got to watch your cards when you're doing this. The RTX 2060, if you can get it down to a couple $100, I think the 2060 Super would be a good card. It's mid-level to me, but it doesn't seem like it's a bad card. But, you get the 3060, 12 gigabytes, they still want you to pay $390, to get the card. If that would have said $190, maybe that would have been more to pique my interest. But in the customer's eyes, anything over $200 isn't going to pique your interest. Because if they can't get the cards down below $200 that are worth something, then it's not worth your time to buy that card. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So, alright, time to move away from Amazon. Let's go to the used section in eBay. Let's see. Same card you've seen. This is the 590. It's $136. Is it worth it? Not really. Because the best offer, I would only offer the person $110 for that card. And it's from China too, so really, no. Right here, there's a big problem. They spelt game with GME. No, I wouldn't buy that neither. This, no, I wouldn't buy that neither. So, 1660 Super, no, I don't think so. The R5 240 1 gigabyte for $699. It depends. If you're running OpenGL, that might be a good deal for you. So, 1660 Ti, 129, no. 6800 XT, no. I wouldn't pay $300. GTX Titan, 12 gigabyte for $90 on a bid. No, wouldn't even bid on it. 6600 XT, maybe, just maybe. 89.97. We got 650 or best offer. Well, what's wrong with the card if you're selling it for 650 or best offer? How many people you gonna get to buy that card? I mean, 3070, 250, and you got a bid on it? No. ATI, let's see. What do we have here? Nope. 3060, nope. 3060, nope. 560, nope. 1600, nope. 580, nope. 6600. Well, if it stays about $150, maybe. Nope. Oh, that depends on if the WX 7100 works. But GDR5, $150, no. Challenger D for $111, nope. You can already see there's a problem with that card. 470, nope. 3080 Founders Edition, 560, nope. 1650 Super, 4 gigabytes, 7850. No. 7,770 HD, 2 gigabytes, and they want 39. Nope. 2070, 2070 for $210. Look at it. Nope. If you can't offer free shipping, what makes you think I want to buy your card? That's going to be another thing too. I mean, this one does. And look at this, 6 gigabytes GDR6 4.0. I mean, that would probably be a better deal than this one. Basically. Nope. RTX 4000, maybe, but it still seems a little pricey for it. So, I don't know. Well, 6600 Eagle, 8 gigabytes, 102 if you're bidding. Nope. I don't bid on cards because I think it's a waste of time. Because if somebody always outbid you, it's not really worth it. So, no. 5600 XT, 179 or best offer. No. 1650, 127. No. I don't know. Maybe if they come down on the price more, maybe. Wow. But this is just giving you a look on some of the used prices here on Amazon. And as you can see, they got quite a few used prices. So, when you go looking for a graphics card, you will see these prices here. And you'll know if you get a good deal or bad deal. So, I mean, I don't foresee the prices right now being a good deal. I foresee the prices being a bad deal on my part. So let's go ahead and switch to Micro Center. Let's see, they got the 6800 XT for $579. I don't know why everybody's pricing these cards up so high. When they did a month or two ago, they had a cheaper price on them, and now they want to jack them back up again. It's like a yo-yo. I mean, you go back and forth, yo and yo. I mean, that's all they got. Let's go over to the 200 items they found. 4090, $1,800. 6950, $700. 4090, $1,800. See, they're doing the same thing the scalper's doing. Jacking up the prices. You know, it's their biz. They can do whatever they want, but you know, they want my business. They're gonna come down on the prices. Just in my opinion, you know, they're gonna want to come down in these prices. So, if y'all want to leave, you know, something in the chat, you know, to say hey or whatever, make sure you do so. You know, more than happy to, you know, see what's up, you know, see how you're doing and everything else. But from what we're seeing here is Micro Center's prices, they're going back up. Just to let you know, they are going back up. So that just sucks. To me that just sucks. I mean, when you go to buy your graphics cards, you know, you want something that'll match with your motherboard, but you know, you can't find something that'll match to your motherboard because the prices are so high, they're insane. Now they're making the DDR5 motherboards almost $200. You know, the cheapest one that I've seen was the ASRock motherboard. You know, this B650, but that's $155. It's only $45 less than, you know, your other graphics cards. So I don't see what you're really paying for. When it comes to the motherboard manufacturer should be making the motherboards a lot cheaper than they have been. You know, instead of making everybody the has-been, they should be making everybody stand up and say, hey, you know, we got a special going on for you this month. And say, you know, we got a motherboard for like $79, $80. Guess what? They don't. If you notice, they don't. The cheapest motherboard that I can find that's for AM5 is $155, but it's all cut down versions. Versions that don't give you the full boosting capabilities that you can do with your AM5 processor. You know, especially the VRMs are cut way down. You know, it's sloppy, ridiculous crap that motherboard manufacturers are doing to the public right now. Just like AMD's doing and NVIDIA's doing. Now Intel's going to start getting in on the game. It's called the chance of survival. They all know the recession's coming. So they jack their prices up so high that very few buy but it keeps them afloat. Now, when recession hits, that's when the prices go up even higher. So, a lot of people are going to say, well, the recession's already here. Part of it is, but part of it isn't. And that's the kind of part that, the government puts over our heads. So we're kind of stuck like Chuck when it comes to, doing what we want, and like content creating whatsoever, it's just, it's just too much of a headache. Some content creators told me the other day, this is becoming a nightmare when it's creating your content for YouTube. They said it's getting worse other than better, and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, give it time and a chance. You got to give your videos time to get out there. They can't get out there in one night. So, and if you got over 100 or better, I see pop-ups about videos that are 12 years old. Sorry about that. I had to clear my eyes. I see videos out there that are 12 years old and they're still popping up on my YouTube. I rarely see enough of the newest, up-to-date stuff. I see the newest, up-to-date stuff 2 weeks back, but from there on, I don't see anything new coming into light. So, but that's just my opinion. There's many opinions out there. So, with these graphics cards, I can tell you, the prices are not going to come down. And between Nvidia and AMD, they're going to keep them up high for quite a while. And all I can do is every week when I make a graphics card nightmare video, is inform you of the today's prices and let you know some prices have changed, some prices haven't changed, just to keep you updated on the prices. But, it is what it is. You're not going to change the manufacturer's mind. This is what the manufacturer sets for price. So if they're setting this price, then they're gouging the prices because, some businesses don't want to sell their graphics cards or, any PC part at a higher price than what it's worth, But if they don't, then what will happen is they'll lose out on money. And that's the big name of the game, is called money. So if you're looking to build a $1,000 system or a $500 system, I can tell you right now, you can build a $500 or $1,000 system. Okay, but it's going to be without a graphics card. Unless you want to use one of the cheapy kind of graphics cards that's not going to give you the performance and everything else. But you rather just deal with integrated graphics and a motherboard. You got your processor, you got your power supply, your hard drives, your bling bling, like your video card lights, and you're done. You don't want to do anything else than just that. Me, I did what I told y'all earlier. I decided to take out the Adrenaline software, leave in the drivers from the program and just install the drivers only, and my systems run nice and smooth, no problems whatsoever. The driver software is up to date. It's running the newest one right now, so that's the way you look at it. I mean, what matters the most when it comes to your graphics cards is your drivers. The software, that's kind of immaterial at that point. Software only controls the functions of the graphics card, not the system files. The BIOS controls the system files. So the graphics card is controlled by its software. So it's not too complicated, you know. Depends on the graphics card you buy. That's going to make a difference in the world. That's going to give you the right SW. That's going to give you the right everything. So all depends, you know, what you want and how you want your system built. Now, if you get an all-in-one system, I'm sure you can go to Walmart and get a cheapy all-in-one system and then put in, you know, whatever you want for a graphics card or whatever, more RAM, and be done. A lot of people done that back in the days too. They go and they turn around and they get an all-in-one system, change out the processor, don't have to mess with the BIOS because it's all there. You know, something like I did. So, but the system I have right now, that's y'all are seeing live right here. That's the Ryzen 5 5600G. That's all the processor. There's no video card in here. There's only integrated graphics from the processor to the output of the video. It works well. I'm going to continue to use this the way it is until I see graphics card prices come down to a reasonable level that's below $200, and that's when I make my decision of what I want to do. It comes down to below $200, then I know I got a good graphics card. If not, then I'm going to wait until it happens. Sooner or later it will. So just be patient. If you're going to be buying, you know, let's say you wait and you wait and you wait until, let's say you wait 2 years, and then it comes 2 years, the prices just all of a sudden drop on the best of the best graphics cards. It would be well worth the 2-year wait on the best of the best graphics cards. Especially if they come down all the way down to like $300 at least. Then you know you got a good graphics card. You know. These companies, they make their money. We might as well just get it to the point. They make their money. So, you know, it is what it is. Well, I did an hour and 30 minutes on the video and nobody said nothing yet. So if you want to say something, you know, let me know what you think. I know not too many people showed up right now, We'll work on it. We'll work on getting everybody here. And I do apologize for yesterday once again. I had an emergency happen, so I couldn't be here, and I do apologize to y'all. There it is. So I figured we would talk about, the graphics cards, watching the prices week by week, do your evaluation at the end of the month. We'll give you an idea where the graphics cards are coming and going. So it's something you might want to watch for on the latest prices. And that way you can get a better deal. But what I'm going to do today is this. I'm going to do a sum up video to this later on today. I might do a sum up video, or I might do a live video, a continued live video. I'm not sure yet. It all depends on what I got going in, the real time here in my real life, if I can do that or not. So don't quote me on it. If I don't, then you'll see the next video on the next day. But I know it's a little bit of a short video. I know I was supposed to do 2 hours, but I had a couple things come up. So if this is your first time here, make sure you like and subscribe. It would help out the channel. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours here on YouTube to go full monetization, so that way we can rock and roll up to the next level, which we would hope to get 100,000 subscribers, or 1,000,000 subscribers, or 1,000,000,000 subscribers. Just the whole world joining in and getting in on the stream. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut it right here. And I want to thank you all for joining in. And if you're just sitting and watching, I want to thank you all for just watching, at least. Throw some likes on it, be much appreciated. But we're going to jump out of here, so until the next time and the next video, this is JJ on JJ's PC Builds. We will see you on the next one. Have a great day and be safe.